I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
The Hack2House Alberta Curling Series Women's Major. Draw 2. Shawn, Joyce, happy to be joining you here from the Beaumont Curling Club Curling Stadium Beaumont production, and joined tonight by Matt Hames.
Hey!
Matt, I don't know whether you had a chance to see some of the action this afternoon. One draw already in the books here. And I can't remember, did you work some of the games last weekend as well?
I did not last weekend,
okay,
no.
So you maybe didn't get to see some of the ice here with the men's event last weekend, the women's this weekend. So we got to see the ice last weekend. Lots of curl here in Beaumont. An outstanding 6-sheet facility, but with 15 teams playing in the women's, just 4 games on tap this afternoon, and then 3 here this evening. We're going to feature the game between Kate Cameron and Heather Steele. Triple knockout event here with 15 teams, all looking to get one of those 8 berths in the championship round on Sunday. The 2 teams, as always, in the preliminary rounds have a practice session before and draw to the button for the hammer in the opening end of play. It was Cameron winning the draw to the button, and it must have been close because we saw them have to measure the second stone. In a round robin, they measure every stone because it matters for tiebreakers, but this is a triple knockout, so it only matters for this game. We didn't get a chance to see the first practice, but usually when they measure the second one, you know it's close.
Yeah, it means it's pretty close.
So, and Kate had a piece of the button. So if practice is any indication, these teams are ready to go.
Yeah, they're ready to go. This one is not curling as much as they were hoping for.
It will move late here in Beaumont.
Yeah. What's really interesting is the Cameron team came around with clockwise turn, the in turn, and they tried to chase it with the out turn, the counterclockwise, and they just took a little bit too much ice.
Some of that comes down to what is the smart miss, Kate Cameron, experienced skip. It's hard to say that. She's so young.
Yeah, right.
But at least by comparison to you and I, anyway, she is. And knowing full well that, you're coming around the other team's guard, it's a little bit off the center. You come from the wide side. If it's a little bit short, it's a corner guard. Whereas if you try to come through the middle and you're short, you've just thrown a center guard. And it's the opposite for the team with that's throwing first in the end. They want to come through the center because if you leave it short, the center guard helps you. However, they left room for the hit and roll undercover.
Yeah,
now sits 2 buried.
So they're taking about the same ice. So they didn't hate the ice. They just wasn't perhaps as good of a throw.
She probably is not looking to dead bury this one. She's probably got a corner freeze it.
Yeah, she tapped on the top and also the back one, but this looks like it's got a lot of weight.
Corner either way. She would have liked to get dead to the face on the last attempt, and you're right, Matt. This has got a lot of speed. Through the back.
I think you might see her through the idea here is either play the intern onto your top one or your back one, or put the rock in a place that's out of the way. So back 12 foot, just gets it all the way out of the way.
I'm thinking open side myself too. That's what they're going to opt for.
Yeah. Try to sit third shot here. Like you want this behind the tee line as much as you possibly can. Just to kind of put one in play and say, okay, your turn. We're sitting 3 now. This looks like they're not even thinking about sweeping it.
They can afford to be back 12 here on this.
Yeah.
Not sure this one's going to stop, though.
Don't think so. It's all right. You definitely don't want to be top 12. So I think Kate would rather that than a rock top 12. Looks like a control weight nose hit here.
Yeah, looking to make a play on the guard, try to bring it straight back. This is my first chance to look at the Steele team. The second is Michelle Marie Bradley, and this is going to overcurl the nose hit. First event, I believe, for this Steele team. It's the first one that I've got showing on my list anyway, and had a team in the game this afternoon. They were playing in their first event of the year and probably their first game, and the curl will catch you here in Beaumont. There is some movement here. It doesn't matter just because you stepped up your weight doesn't mean it's not going to curl. So it might take them an end or two to get onto that.
Going open side again. Thought about the guard. I think in the first stand, no guards in play and trying to sit 3 seems like it could be pretty good.
Brianna Cullen is the second. She's the new player on the roster this year. Mackenzie Elias playing lead was with Kate last year. Taylor McDonald has moved up to play third. Megan Walter has moved on. Kate Cameron, the skip. That stone comes to rest in the back 12. So Heather Steele calls the game. She's the skip, but she throws the third stone. So she's making her way down to throw now. Daisy Brown holding the broom for her. She throws the fourth stones.
Yeah, so it's hard to make this double and stay. And anyway, even if you do, you're going to be over on the other side. And so then you just kind of hit it and split the rings.
Awful close to dead jamming it.
Yeah, it looks like a nose. It's actually not the worst result ever, because like, got to figure out what to throw now. You know, do you want to just split the rings again and leave that rock there?
It's dangerous to hit it and hard to hold the shooter. So yeah,
It is. Yeah,
I think she's splitting the rings.
I think she's splitting the rings as well.
That's the call.
Trying to go T-line. You could try to throw like a board weight hit and roll, but that comes with a lot of risk. It's not necessarily killing you.
You know, it would be more of a problem for you if it was dead lined up to the red. The fact that the red's half out in the open, even if Heather can make the run back, she's either rolling it open or, and her shooter might not even be in the rings actually if she plays the run.
I wonder if she considers throwing the
back double.
Yeah.
You're facing 3. I think you're playing the back double before you're playing the run on your own.
Yeah.
We just think this through. She plays the back double. Kate probably freezes to it.
Yeah. I wonder if you ever try to hit what you can see of the red and roll over. If you take off the top yellow, you still might.
In the first end of your first game of the season? I don't think so.
It's fair. Yeah. That's fair. They certainly didn't consider it. They just went right after this. So,
and this is going to overcurl. She's
solid
on the second one.
Though. It might hit and roll up on top. Might work out for her.
Nudges it and spins over the top a little bit. Does force Taylor McDonald to play a little bit of a finesse hit at this.
Yeah. Nice, easy little weight here. Try to roll basically to Kate's broom.
And I'll tell you, from what I saw, sorry, Matt, from what I saw last week watching the men play, this is tight ice for this shot.
Yeah, this is going to curl. Nice positive return, release. Lots of handle.
Should start moving right now.
Yeah. Going to be just off nose.
Catches her own, but stays, and I think stays sitting 3.
Yeah, I think they're sitting 3. Can you make this double and roll to the back, to the back? You're not going to be shot, but
I don't think you'll be shot.
Certainly cut down the rings a little bit.
Yeah.
I think at this moment, Kate's hoping for a nose hit here instead of the roll. This is not a ton of ice either, right?
No. But
we
she's trying to get across the face. So
yeah, I know, but we had a positive release on the last one and lots of handle. This is this looks like maybe a bit more weight. And roll over onto theirs. Yep, a little audible at the end there. Not bad. It's hard to roll inside. Got to just kind of nose hit it and roll out a bit, which should leave the double. Get out of this end with even have a deuce.
If you could ever roll right to just hang on to the edge of the 12-foot, it would make the double really difficult too. She's got to roll. If she knows now, the double and the roll behind would be shot rock.
Yeah.
You honestly, I think at this point in time, you're better off to roll out than you would be to stay right there.
Yes. If you stay right there and you clip the back one, that would be the worst case scenario, right?
Even if you leave the back one, like if she's got a chance to play the double and the roll and she makes it, that's a get out of jail free card. Like if you just hit and roll out here, she's got to hit the back one. She's not giving up 3 in the first end.
Yeah. And she's got pretty tight ice. Possibly going to be moving. Nice positive out-turn release.
Yeah. For as young as she is, we know her well enough to know that that's her out-turn, right?
Yeah. I think she was erring on the side of not nosing it.
Rolls out. She does sit 2, and as expected, Heather Steele, Daisy Brown decide to make the play on the open stone at the back.
Yeah, there's not a lot to gain to try to take any risks here, playing the run back or anything else. Just hit this and don't give up 3.
Yeah, later in the game, depending on the score, it's a shot you might take on because if it's there, it's there to dead stuff the run back. The shooter would be out of the rings, so even if you left her a double back, it would still only be for 1, and you could maybe steal. The problem is if you happen to ever not make contact with that stone at the top of the 4, which could happen.
The consequences are really super high.
Yeah. So she'll make the hit, back 12. Shot rock belongs to Kate Cameron, and she's going to draw. He will need to just about bite the 8-foot to pick up her 2 points here in this opening end of play.
Yeah, you're right. That's a tremendous amount of ice. They're erring on the side of let's not get to the center line. So that's probably bite the button ice. That's a lot of ice.
That ice should probably get to the center line.
You think it'll get to center line?
Oh yeah. And at the hog line, it's not going to look like it.
Yeah.
Which is it's actually great ice for the sweepers because you have to be patient with the line calls, but you can wait forever. It's going to be never should be a factor rubbing a guard. If you're close to rubbing a guard, you're probably out in the open on the other side. Still outside the edge of the 4-foot when it crosses the hog line.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the center line. If it's T line, that's touching the center line.
Touches the top of the 4-foot. Put 2 points on the board for Kate Cameron here in the first. She'll take a 2-0 lead. Heather Steele will have last rock in the second.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardlines Ice Pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Gripper first.
Don't forget your brooms.
Yep, you got it. Yellow.
Come on. Okay, well, what do you got? You got one, you got two, you got...
Just one more throw, please.
You make moments like these possible.
Calling all curlers, novice to pro. Ashland Curling Supply's patented rotator disc system lets you customize your slider right in the store. Velcro attachments make it easy to find the sliding platform that's right for you. Shop Ashland Curling Supplies, 700 McPhillips, online at ashland.com.
Well played opening end for Kate Cameron. It really wasn't a case of misses. They made a couple of nice shots, a come around to start the end off, and then a nice hit and roll, and they just had the pressure on for the rest of the end. Picks up her deuce here. Heather Steele will have last rock as we begin the second end. First stone called for right into the rings. Will come to rest just the back half of the button.
Not a bad spot. They wanted it up maybe a rock or two, but they also wanted to try to get it to center line. So see a corner guard here, and then probably rock top 8 foot, right?
You would think so, yeah. That'll be the call, I would think. Anyway, Megan Chateauvert, I hope is the right pronunciation.
Sounds good.
It kind of looks like it matches what I see on the screen, so.
Yeah. Oh, this is going to change the...
Well, now she'll be sorry that I mentioned her name at all. Puts it right into the 12-foot. Saw that a few times this afternoon as well. For ice that curls as much as it does, it is still lightning quick.
Yeah. It does look fast out there.
They just seem to slide forever. They start making that big break, and it looks like they're going to slow down and stop, and they just keep going. She'll make the hit, does not manage to roll the shooter into the rings. Another chance for the corner guard.
Okay, that goes sideways. It's a good spot actually, because it's a little tougher to it just brings some consequences for removing it.
Yeah, there's
not,
possible jams both ways.
Yeah.
Can't remove it yet anyway.
Yeah, can't remove it yet, but when it does come time to remove it, it's not going to be the easiest rock to remove. Sometimes good throwing up a guard there in between both of theirs. Gives you some options to play around too. So with that guard up there now, they realize play a nice tight guard here instead of top 8 foot.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be heartbroken if it slides in. It's got to be tight.
It's definitely sliding in.
Yeah. Comes down, sits on the corner of their own shot stone. Double's
It'd be
available.
real.
If you throw some weight at this, you could actually make the double and the roll.
Yeah, you could. You want to really make sure you stay.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, roll, fine, stay is the key here. Got a decent end developing.
She'd like to get to the nose, though, and this is still on the
Yeah.
outside. That
Yeah, she's
control
gonna
weight.
make it. It's a good shot.
Enough to get the second one out of the rings. It does
Yeah.
stick around back there so somebody can trip on it later.
Yeah. Lots of rotation. It's good, especially on ice that curls like this. Lots of rotation is always gonna.
Yeah.
Always
I'm
gonna
a
be
little
a friend.
surprised they played for the roll on that one. If you'd
I
have
wonder
made
if it
the
was
roll
an audible. Like they
Well-
called a nose hit, and then eventually they were just like, I might as well go for it.
they could have swept for the nose. If
Yeah.
you make the roll behind, you're probably right at the T line, and I think you'd see Heather Steele play the freeze to it.
Yeah.
At any rate, you roll halfway there, she's got a chance to hit and roll behind cover. Now this one is moving on them.
This one is going. I think they indicated that the weight is maybe a little down from what was called. So you could probably make this. You could probably make this come around by taking outside edge of the 8 as well, and just have it swoop in there, or go inside at the little dish and let it sit there for a while.
Yeah, this looks a little bit like tight ice to me now. She did look like she's got that positive release we talked about.
Yeah.
You don't want to over curl the guard in this situation. You're coming around the opposition's corner guard. If you overbury, you just leave her room to make another draw. If anything, you'd like to leave quarter of a rock sticking out in the open.
Yeah.
And you didn't want to be that deep.
No, probably not. Or that deep, or that much curl.
Yeah, that's
It's a lot easier now. Like, it's not easy, but it's easier to come down to it.
it's tempting in a situation like this to turn around to your opposition and say, where do you have the broom for that shot? Because I just want to follow it down. But
Yeah.
you know, those sneaky players that you play against sometimes will lie to you, so you can't always take their word for it.
Yeah.
But if she can follow that down and sit right on the corner.
Well, the question is, does her release allow this little bit of ice? Like, because it's not a ton of ice, and so is she going to have a positive release on this out turn, on her righty out turn? Let's have a look. It's not bad. They're going to have to go. They're probably going to have to go for line. Ooh.
Yeah,
Maybe a little heavy.
yeah, if she's a little heavy, she's liable to bounce out in the open, and
Yeah.
it does. Boy, she had great
No,
lines, just a couple
she
feet
had-
too much weight.
Yeah, that's interesting. They were sweeping that so early.
Yeah,
I mean, I think that's early first game of the season kind of communication.
oh for sure.
For
Yeah,
calling for line right away and not recognizing that it's also heavy.
I don't know whether it was a line call because it was both pressures down. Sometimes they might have thought it was light. We can't
Yeah.
hear them, so we don't know which one of those it was. But
Trying to roll outside it just a little bit here. Just
Yeah,
roll to the edge of the forefoot. Yeah, right about there.
makes her play it. Well, makes her play it eventually to get shot. She could ignore it and throw the draw right here. Kate's not going to be guarding a stone in the back of the forefoot.
Probably not. Yeah,
She hesitated, and I don't know whether she's hesitating because she's not sure where she wants to roll here or if she actually thought about drawing. I wouldn't hate the draw, except, again, it's the second end of your first game of the season.
Yeah.
But where do you roll? Now that this is what they've settled on, where do you roll here?
Yeah, I think you're probably nosing it and hoping on the next one that, or roll half buried. I mean, half buried might be the perfect spot. It's just pretty precise. I think they'll take that. It's tough. It's if you roll under now, you're just leaving a pretty decent pocket, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure that Kate should be rolling under. I think she's rolling
Yeah.
a rock broomside is probably better.
I think probably going to the open side, just roll it a rock to the right.
Yeah,
basically where her
pretty
broom
much
is.
right where her broom is right now.
Yeah.
If you roll right there, it makes the hit and roll as difficult as you can for, I guess it would be Daisy Brown throwing the forest stones.
Yeah.
And yet she can't really come down to that back when she wouldn't be shot rock. So
Right, and now we're on Skip's rock, so you can't really just draw to sit second shot.
You want to make her play this stone and make it as hard as possible to roll undercover.
Yeah.
And I think if you roll undercover yourself, she's just freezing.
Yeah, I agree. So I guess if you could roll half buried, maybe.
Even then I think she's freezing because she can always freeze tap as long as she gets close to the nose.
Yeah. She's just really not getting that out turn to curl much.
Yeah, that's just Kate's out turn though. I've seen her throw enough of those that, and she knows it, which is why she'll take a little less ice for it.
Find it. You could play this. They've been playing out turns this whole time. They've been playing this turn the whole time. But I think it's easier to call playing the in turn here. Especially in this curly spot.
With where you've got to put the broom to play the intern, that corner guard's kind of in your eye. That's never comfortable.
It's never comfortable, but this is you gotta be on this when you're still sweeping for a nose. It's easy to lose this rock.
I think they're going to get caught the other way. They're going to hit it too thick again.
Hit it just a bit too thick. Now a nose hit.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Nose hit makes the next shot pretty interesting, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because you gotta
talking about rolling center line. I don't think you want to.
I don't think you want to
right there.
I think you want to dead nose hit this, and then you're throwing an out turn past that rock and away from the center line.
Yeah, you're still going to have to play it kind of like the freeze, right?
Yeah.
Because it's really your only clear path.
Yeah, because if she noses it, you can't nose it back and be shot.
No.
So you could
try have an intern draw.
You won't have an intern draw. So the only draw is the out turn draw.
Yeah, I don't know if the hit and roll would even be there. Think about where the back end of that stone's going to be.
It would be really tough. It would be like a really quiet weight hit and roll. So the only shot is like a middle of the 8-foot draw to the 4-foot. Which is that's a precarious shot in your second end of your first game of the season.
Yeah. They talked about rolling to split center. The only which is fine. It makes her draw the wide draw if she draws. What I'd be concerned about is that rather than risk giving up a steal of 2, if you roll to split center, she might play the slash double.
Yeah,
where
absolutely.
She's either getting a blank or she's only giving up 1 at the worst.
Yeah. No, I think the shot here is definitely a nose hit. Well, let's see if she plays the wide out turn, or I think the shot would be to just slash it. That's what they're looking at.
They're looking at the hit and roll. That's a tough shot.
That is a tough shot. Oof. I think this is again the shot that you were talking about. Like, I just don't want to give up too.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, this could be made. I mean, it could be made for sure, but if you're going to play the hit, I'm not sure why you don't play the slash. I get why she's not playing the draw, because she's got to play it down a path they haven't seen since practice, maybe half an hour ago. Has to stay on the broom side, though, if she's going to have any chance to get the roll.
Yeah, she's going to roll and just going to nose it. Yeah.
Makes the nose hit, but that's a steal of 1. Kate Cameron takes a 2-0 lead here after 2 ends of play. Steele will have last rock again in the third.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Two nothing for Kate Cameron as we begin. Pardon me, 3-0, I guess, as we begin play here in the third.
Probably going into the rings here again, trying to put it T-line top 4-ish.
Yeah. And expect we'll see Heather Steele call for the corner guard. Steele does have last rock in this end, but you got to figure she'd like to get rid of it and see if she can live up to her name. I was going to use that at some point in time. I had to get it before you did.
Absolutely. It's beautiful. I fully support that.
I am surprised that she's coming around the center guard here.
I might have thrown one corner guard and invited some more rocks into play. But, you know, get in there first. Make them chase you.
Won't be happy to be that far back.
No, it's not the worst thing in the world. But yeah, they wanted that. They would have preferred it up a little bit higher.
Mackenzie Elias will look to come down, sit in front of that stone. They indicated maybe tap it back too, but more important to get right to the face. Sliver to the inside if they could.
Yeah. I think they'd be okay with top 4 here as well. No need to, there's no need to be shot right now. Like that rock that's back in the back of the rings isn't really hurting you. And it's not really helping the Steele team. Might have gone a little deeper than they thought it was going to go when they were sweeping it.
Yeah, and of course they carried it farther, and it pokes out a little bit. Both of those stones, if you're just sat down and turned the screen on now, you would have thought both of those stones came down from the other side from what they did. Both of those over curling, lots of movement both directions.
Yeah, if she can throw the exact same shot here as her first one, which isn't the easiest thing in the world to do, but if you can throw the exact same shot, could get a good result here. Maybe a little heavier. It's not making the break like the first one did. Certainly going to bounce. Might be backline-ish. It's a pretty good result.
Yeah, leaves herself
Release
angles
the
on the
back
redstone.
one. Yeah, release the back one. Gate's got to move that back red now. Get that out of the way. Looking for probably good backline-ish weight here. Just tap that red rock back a couple of feet.
Even just back 8, if she gets to the inside corner, because then she only has to move the red a few inches. The red-yellow
I think she
going to
took
set
some
up here will be
pretty,
angled the other way.
she took some pretty aggressively tight ice there to sweep it all the way for the weight. So if you throw it back 8 and sweep it the whole way, that's going to crack the guard.
Don't think she had back 8 either.
No, I don't think so. Now you got to figure out where you want to put this. Like, I don't think you want to move any of those rocks yet. I think it's like even top 8 foot here would be pretty good. Right? Is there any reason why you have to move that right now?
No.
I think you're just inviting a pretty solid hit. If you've got movement and you roll out anywhere, I think you're just inviting
Yeah, I'm not sure why they're so aggressively sweeping this. I'd be trying to get to the inside. You could actually move both yellows behind cover.
It's a good result, but I just think
Is it?
Yeah. I mean, that's what they called. So like that's what they were. It's a good shot of what they called. I think they're just inviting some run backs here that are.
I'm not even sure she has to play the run back. I think you can see enough to make the double and maybe the triple through the port.
I think she's probably thinking that it's still early enough in the end that I can try this once and still have some shots at some doubles later.
Well, she's got a 3-point lead too. There's more guards up there than she ever wanted.
That's fair. Well, this is not what she was hoping for.
No. Removes one yellow, but leaves both of the 2 remaining yellow rocks in behind cover, although they are both behind the tee line.
I think I'm going to say this again. I don't think you want to be top 4 here. I think you like a nice top 8 would be good. It's going to bury. You know the rock that you're coming around is being run back. It's taking its time. They're trying to come around it now. Trying to come around their own.
That was incredibly eager on the sweep. Swept it probably halfway down. It goes just through the back. And it was never in any danger of being on the front one either. So I'm not sure. Obviously, the weight was misjudged, but I don't think there could have been a line call coming there.
Yeah.
And I thought she gestured they were playing the angle here all the way.
Yeah, she was playing it the whole time. That was the shot. Good, excellent result.
Kind of greedy to stick it back there behind the redstone too. So the shot stone's now open. Second shot belonging to Cameron, that stone that was just raised in, sitting buried edge of the 4-foot. Heather Steele going to try to freeze down to it. Doesn't need to move it. She's already got shot rock, but she is going to have to be right down to the corner to get second.
Yeah. And you want to definitely be second here, because if you're not second, it's just going to take a couple of rocks to end up being.
Yeah,
it's going to be rough.
You know the shot rock's gone on the next one.
Yeah. Pretty good release. I think the weight is pretty close. It's curling nicely.
Yeah, they got to be careful not to bounce off it.
Oh, that's a good shot.
Yeah, I think it stopped in time. Boy, it was only 2 inches maybe from being too far.
Yeah. Couple of inches higher and it's absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
So it's very, very close to disaster and perfect. It's right in between the two of them.
I thought they'd stop sweeping earlier, and they're still sweeping it right to the touch.
Right. They're definitely eager. It's the beginning of the season. They want to sweep. Like by around January, you're like, okay, let's see where this can go without us.
Let's see how they feel in the third game Sunday.
Yeah, that's fair.
They'll be happy just to be playing the third game Sunday.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to play 3 on Sunday.
Yeah. Do you come around the corner or freeze to that one way over? I think you just kind of put it over somewhere around that corner. You don't have to come around the corner.
She's talking about hitting the back one too.
I know she's talking about hitting the back one. It's third last. I don't know.
Well, I think part of it is like they can't get around the corner and still be second shot.
They can't.
Tough shot to get around that second anyway. To get around that corner anyway, and maybe worried that if they just draw open side, that they're going to leave a double. She's got to have 8 foot to be second shot. Whereas if she hits this one back here, she can actually try to roll.
Try to roll to the broom.
Yeah, roll to the. If you look at the overhead, there's a good look at the overhead. She could roll to the U in curling in the back of the 12 foot, and she'll leave it as awkward a double as you possibly can back there. She doesn't want to roll towards the center, though.
Dead buried. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna see possibly an intern here, or you think, or an outturn? Oh, there's an intern.
It's almost funny in it, and I'm just as guilty of it as anybody else, but nobody ever wants to play a shot that has to cross the center line.
Yeah.
So I might prefer my out turn, but not if I have to cross center. So we're going to play the in.
Well, yeah, because you got to kind of start a little bit, especially with this ice, you got to start like a little bit off the rock. And it feels like if you've watched so many rocks in your life just hang on to that center line forever and not cross it, that you just don't want to risk that. This
on the brush early. She only needs to just slightly cross the face here to make the double. She's close.
Yeah, she's real close. It's a good shot. Just nice control weight. Gave it to her sweeper.
Don't really think there's much chance she could even be trying to roll behind the corner guard from here. It would have to be a lot higher in the rings to have a chance to make that. So Daisy Brown will just look to hit, probably stay right there, and then hope she's got an open shot to get the blank. They swept that awfully aggressively for a roll.
Yeah.
that wasn't ever going to get them much, but they sure couldn't afford to roll out. Ends up in a great spot because it
is a good spot.
Kate can't try if you nose hit that, there's no reason for Kate not to try to roll behind the corner guard. There's also a catcher over there, so that's not an option now. And I don't think she can roll up onto the corner of her own. Mind you, if she hits it right on the nose, you're going to have to roll the long way to get the blank.
Yeah, no hit here makes the blank a little bit more complicated, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, they're going early. Seems okay.
Rolled a couple of inches toward the middle. That probably rules out any... Wow, and they're still looking at trying to go over the top. That's tough. She's got to hit this thick.
She's got to hit this very thick to go over the top.
And
bounce up. Yeah. This is going to be moving. It's going to have to be moving.
Yeah, it's going to have to be.
It makes the outside sweeper's job a little bit more complicated if she has to sweep because the boards are going to be in the way.
Well, they're on the brush. Final stone here. Looking
Looks
for the
pretty
blanket
good.
3. Makes the hit, catches the second one, but has enough spin to go over the top and out of play.
Great shot.
Got a blank end here in the third. Heather Steele will continue to have last rock, trailing 3-0 when we come back in the fourth.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Calling all curlers, novice to pro. Ashland Curling Supply's patented rotator disc system lets you customize your slider right in the store. Velcro attachments make it easy to find the sliding platform that's right for you. Shop Ashland Curling Supplies, 700 McPhillips, online at ashland.com.
Kate Cameron leading 3-0 over Heather Steele as we begin play here in the fourth. Shawn, Joyce, Matt Hames with you. It's the Hack2House Alberta Curling Series Women's Major. 15 teams began play earlier this afternoon here in Beaumont. Triple knockout event down to 8 qualifiers who will play for the championship beginning Sunday morning. Lovely 6-sheet facility. Saw the men play last week. A lot of the draws had all 6 sheets in play. Here with just 15 teams, they just needed 4 draws this afternoon and 3 this evening for everybody to get their first game under the belt, except for that one team that got set ahead. They'll start tomorrow morning.
Good guard. Good spot. Just try to get one here, top 12. Tight's good. They want it as tight as possible.
I was peeking, Matt, between ends at the scoreboards, just 3 games on here, and it looks like it was very important to win the draw to the button in this evening draw, as every team that won the draw to the button jumped out to at least a 3-0 lead.
Now, there you go. Back in the old days when we flipped a coin, it would have just been random.
You know, and we've talked about some of the subtle differences over the last couple of weeks, or at least I have with some of the people that I've been on the air with, between the round robin draws and the triple knockouts. We've been mentioned it earlier in this game, the fact that you measure the draw when it's close, but then you throw it away because every game is different. In the round robins, all those scores are kept track of until the end because that's a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Well, the other issue, when you get into the small pool round robins, they usually make everybody throw the draw to the button at least once. And usually in the triple knockouts, they don't do that. So it could be to skip every game.
Yeah. Look at this. They're coming around the corner guard. Looks a little tight from where the ice was. It's getting over that line a lot sooner than they probably wanted to. Might be okay. I like this call. I like this. This is a nice aggressive call.
Well, it's kind of scoreboard dictated. You got to try to score 2 here.
Well, you throw up a corner guard, you might as well use it. Force some play out there. Back 12 is pretty good too. All this is good.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised Kate's chasing it.
Yeah, what else would you like here?
You could throw one more to the middle now because you know that, and you'll see that a lot. There's a lot of cat and mouse in the first 5 rocks of an end, but you can throw a third one to the middle if you're Kate Cameron here, knowing that sometime in the end, Heather Steele's going to have to deal with the ones in the middle.
Yeah,
and while she's dealing with the ones in the middle, you can deal with the ones on the corner.
Yeah.
If you were throwing to the middle here, it's not because you're trying to steal. It's just because you're trying to put one other rock over there that she's going to have to deal with eventually.
Yep. It's a good spot, but as you said,
but it's still it helps Heather steal. Yeah,
it helps Heather a lot. They're calling it a little heavy. It's got to do a lot of curling.
And digging in heavy is not the way to miss this one.
No. I think the ideal call for her right now is to freeze to her own, but that's what she said. She'll take top 12, but the call here is freeze to your own.
Or peel the corner guard.
Yeah. I think they're feeling confident in their abilities to take control of this game.
You get a good one in here, and it's pretty hard for Heather to ignore it and try to use that corner guard. So this is the way to take away the corner guard, is force her to play in the middle now.
Yeah, that's a good spot. Yeah, you got about 3/4 of it. A little bit more than 3/4. Hack weight hit. You're rolling out to, not out of the rings. You're rolling out to the wing. I think you got to deal with the center guard right now.
Yeah, I think you try to play the guard. If you jiggle the ones in the rings, that's great too. But
I think you would like it. It's still, I'm okay with the down weight on the guards. It would be great to hold your shooter somewhere over there in the corner.
Oh, for sure. You're looking to get more. This is not just a straight peel. You've got to get something else out of this. Either you're moving the ones in the rings or rolling to a corner, and ideally both.
Yeah. You could get an eighth of this and go on to their other rock. They're trying that now.
No, they're trying to make it curl.
Yeah.
Yeah, you needed to get more than that out of that shot.
Yeah,
That's
it would have been
just
nice to get a bit
a
more.
straight peel. You had to either hold your shooter on the corner or jiggle those rocks in the rings.
I think I
And
would
like I
have just
said-
played it with a bit less weight to just control it
Could
a
have,
bit.
yeah.
Because, like you said, you really want to hold. If you could hold your shooter, you could do that maybe with a bit less weight.
Yeah, the angle was there to get both. Like the angle was there
Yeah.
to move those stones at the top of the 8 foot and get a corner guard. But yeah, either less weight or still probably needed to hit it just a hair thicker anyway
Or,
to
a
make
little
sure
bit
she
more
got
precise.
contact with the stone in the rings. But
Yeah, just a little bit more control weight means a little bit less precise with exactly where you hit the rock.
that's probably a little tighter than they would have liked.
I think so, but they're still, they're okay with them. They're okay with
Yep.
just, it's tough to make a triple here. It's not impossible, but tough.
Yeah, if you were playing the triple, you'd have to blast it on the nose, I think. But
Yeah,
I think she'll be happy to just jam the first one. So drive the first one onto the second and dead jam it. You got to come across the nose so that you roll in.
Yeah, because if you hit it on the broom side, that top one is going to be shooting over to the right. And I don't know whether or not it gets underneath that red rock or over top of it. It's pretty close. So I don't think you're going to lose that. So I like your call of just dead jamming it.
That was not a pretty release, though.
No, that was not. I'm going to get a piece of the back one, and that's going to...
Well, it moves things around. Shot stone now, the one at the back of the 4 foot. I don't see that stone in the back 12 foot ever coming back into play now. So Kate Cameron's got to make a decision.
There's far too many.
Tough to guard shot rock though when shot's at the back of the house. You know, she'll play the freeze. So I think they're looking to come in. I guess if you could corner freeze your own stone in the 12 foot, that's pretty good.
So she indicated too that a little tiny split on this top one.
Yeah, just think it'd take away both draw paths to freeze the back one.
Yeah, just kind of.
I don't even mind just corner freezing it.
I don't mind that either. She might still have the intern.
The draw's still going to be there, yeah, but it's tough.
Oh, this is way curling more. This is curling way.
If you line the two reds up to the back one, that might be okay too. This is going to overcurl that though.
Yeah. Well, took away the intern. Wide out turn freeze. It's just double checking. We're on thirds last here. Make a good one here, and you got a chance at a deuce.
Just got to get by that stone at the top of the 12. Yeah, this is really curling on her.
Yeah.
Not getting by. Now, where's the shooter going to end up?
It's fifth shot, but it's not an awful spot.
Yeah, it's a tough one for Kate to do anything with it. If she hits it, she's got to roll out of the way and leave an easier path.
Yeah.
It's fifth. She doesn't have to hit it.
I think you might see her come around it. No. I guess if you do that, it's hard to. It's just a straight freeze, not behind guards anymore. If you hit and roll off.
Yeah.
You could.
Well, she could hack weight it and try to roll in behind all the reds, though.
Yeah. Right, because you're putting up another guard here. With where your shooter's going to go.
Yeah, well, and that's what I'm looking at. Could you not just throw straight guard on the outside half of the yellow?
Yeah. there's that.
She's never getting more than 2, right?
Yeah, she's never getting more than 2. I think that's true if you hit it too, though, right?
Well, yes, but I think the 2
Unless
might be
you
easier.
unless
You're
you
making
jam
more
it.
room for her if you
Yeah.
if you hit this.
Unless you jam this. As long as you hit this
Well,
outside.
yeah. Well, just put the announcer's jinx into the air there. Why don't you?
Well, if I had that kind of power, I'd use it for good.
You might have spoken too soon. Clips
Yeah.
it. Does roll it out though. Still, it opens up a lot more room.
Yeah, it leaves a full 12 or full 8 being shot rock, which is a lot nicer house to be drawing to. The key here is get out to the brim. It's going to finish. Just get it. Make sure you get it out there. Looks like a good release. Looks like she's out there. We're on it a bit early.
Yeah, both brushers. So that's usually an
Yeah,
indication they
like
think
it.
it's light.
Well, it looked like they were out there too immediately for line from the thrower. It was pretty good.
Just rubs that stone at the top of the 12-foot, rolls
Yeah.
over, and well, it looks like it's at least Cameron sitting 2, and it might be 3.
Yeah. It's so hard to convince yourself to get it out there, to just make sure you pop it and get it, because you know it's going to finish so much.
Kate looking at hitting that Yellowstone. I believe if she could roll, 3/4 of a rocks with the cross, just roll to be dead on that M in manufacturing it. How does Daisy Brown even get in? Like, is she going to have a port anywhere? She might have to come off the one on the side.
Yep. Or the wide inter.
Can you take enough ice to get around that wide intern?
Not saying it's easy.
You'd have to ask somebody on the next sheet to hold a broom for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, even a nose hit here, right?
Even a nose hit makes it tough. There will be a port.
Yeah.
She makes the nose hit. If she rolls with 3/4 of a rock, I don't know if there's room to get a rock through either one of them.
Yeah. Just a hair inside.
Going to be, if anything, just a hair on the outside. Leaves more room.
Leaves a lot more room. Same throw should make it here, because the weight was pretty good.
Yeah, and it moved that other stone a fair bit. She's got more room coming through here.
Big shot for their confidence. This will be good. Grab one and then see what happens. See if you can get a steal in the next end or a force.
Neat's full 8, but it is a draw against 3 or maybe 4 actually. And
I think it's 4.
Already trailing by 3. Brusher's just cleaning this one. That's a good sign.
Might be a little heavier.
They haven't stood up yet.
Yeah.
They haven't bent over yet either, though.
Yeah. It didn't make the break that it should have.
And that will slide through the back. It's going to be a steal of at least 3, and they're going to have to take a look at that one to see if it's 4.
I think it's 4.
It's a lot when you're already down by 3.
It might be just 3. The way that, or they might have said, let's throw a stick on these.
They're kicking everything else. I think they're bringing the stick out. Being very careful not to touch those 2 stones.
I'll tell you, it's the one thing about curling is when you miss your first one, there's a tendency often to overcompensate on the next one. And her weight was perfect on her first one. She just ticked a guard. And then you sit in the hack and you're just like, oh, I'll just give her a little bit more. And really what you want to do as sweepers is say, your weight was perfect last time.
Yeah.
And the rock's out of the way that you hit.
Yeah, the same miss wasn't there because the guard was moved over.
The same miss isn't there anymore. And it's sometimes it's a team game. And if you just talk to your team and say, we just missed getting you out of the jam last time, just give us the same one and we'll get it there. And
with no mics on the players, we might not know.
Yeah, we might not know whether or not.
We might not know until we come back, but I think she might have pointed to the yellow. We know it's at least 3, could be 4. Yeah. We'll see the damage when we get back. Well, maybe we're not playing the 5th. No, it looks like they're talking about it now. I think we're going to continue on to the 5th. Steele will be down. She'll have last rock after the break.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's ice pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline, join the revolution.
Right back at it here in the 5th end. The teams do have the option, I believe they did last week as well, to have the break after the 4th end. But if neither of the teams have the coach and they want to get right back at it, they certainly have that right as well. We're calling
they didn't.
We're calling it 6-0 for now because I thought Taylor McDonald, as she was the one running the stick, she pointed towards the yellow, I thought. So we're going to call it 3 until we see her mark the score.
Yeah, that's right. I actually didn't think they had a super bad end last end. Like just a couple of ticks on guards here and there, and it wasn't bad.
And it was just 3. Okay.
Yeah. It's not often you're happy that it's just 3. The sweepers, they do seem to be communicating. They seem to be talking. They're, again, we don't have mics on them, so we're just guessing what they're saying to each other. It's early in the season. These rocks, it's really fast. It's just hard to predict. It's hard to predict that break as well. It's hard to anticipate it.
Yeah, I have to admit, I don't know the home club for this team. They're registered out of Edmonton, so I'm going to assume that they play out of the Saville. So really, you'd think if that's the case, they should be comfortable with curl.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not guaranteed they play out of the Saville.
No.
Gonna just touch that corner guard.
Fix it. Trying to get it in, so it's not a corner guard. I like the 2 corner guards. I like the stagger. It's a pretty hard guard, so you can get another one around it.
Well, and I like the call just because I think it's scoreboard dictated here, right? You're down 6,
Yeah.
you got 4 ends to play. You need to try to score 3 here. It's real tough to do that with only 1 guard, and
Yeah.
besides, Kate Cameron will give you 2 all day. If you don't try for 3, she'll let you, she's not going to go out crazy trying to stop you either. She'll give you 2. So if you want 3, you have to play a little bit aggressively here, and you need the second guard.
Not a bad spot.
Yeah, I
Could
would
have
like to have them lined up.
more.
Yeah. Kate thought about putting another one in the center just to force her to deal with 3 rocks later on, but now deciding to try to choke off the corner guard. This is one where you're not really trying to bury it. If you just get quarter stone in behind, nice and high in the rings, just cut off the path to bury.
Nice positive release. I was going to say the ice is pretty tight, but with their positive release, then shouldn't have any problem. Looks like it might be a little deeper than they want.
Yeah. Stops just in front of the tee line, but you probably would have liked to have that, 2 feet higher. 2 feet higher on the line it's on is perfect.
The back 8-foot weight here, like if you just dead freeze on this, that rock is not going anywhere for a while because it goes onto the other red. And you don't really have to sit shot rock yet in this. You want to manufacture some points, but you don't need to sit shot right now.
Yeah. I think it's more important to freeze because I think Kate's walking up and peeling the guards. So
yeah, get inside, a little bounce inside. Well, not shot. That's a pretty good result, actually. It's 3rd shot, but that's okay. It's early.
Kate's going to look to peel the guard, and then you probably have to replace it for at least a couple.
Do you think she's trying to play this run back or straight peel?
No, I think she's playing straight peel.
Yeah, same. There is a way to. Oh, she's got a good piece. So yeah, I think you have to throw the guard. Tempting to try to just get the guard a tiny bit buried and leave just a little corner of your rock open. Make her think about chasing.
Yeah, I'm not too tempted to do that. I'm happy just to guard this. I'm just in my own mind trying to decide when you go around that red stone and that's just touching the 12-foot on the other side. It's all about timing with these things. You gotta make the right. The stone that they're guarding right now, they know it's never ending up on the scoreboard. But they'll guard it for now. Make her play the guards. Eventually, you go around the other side, let her hit the open one, and then you need a double or a pocket, something that you can work with.
That's the shot I was. That's the shot I was. They didn't actually mean to, but that's what they ended up getting.
Yeah, I don't like leaving that. She gave her the chance to play the either or.
Yeah,
it's hard to miss both of them.
It's pretty easy to throw this down a bit and come up onto the nose of the guard they just threw. If you get a little cute with it. It's going to be curling right away.
Not with that release.
No, not with that release. It's still coming off that line pretty quickly. But yeah. Is a good release. All right, well, look at that. You got some rocks in the way now.
Yeah, but you never get to use a guard now.
No, you never get to
because you have to play the pocket.
Yeah.
If you come around either of the guards, you still have 3 red rocks to move and only 2 rocks left to do it.
Yeah, you still have. You said there's still 4 rocks to come, right?
Oh, yeah, there's one more. Yeah, I'm thinking we were at thirds last year. This is thirds first.
Yeah. So they put this in the pocket, they blast, then you can come around that corner guard. They hit, and then you've possibly got a double. So I think if you make this in the pocket, you got a chance at playing that corner guard again. Come around that corner guard again. It's got a crossover.
It's got a lot of weight. They're playing to tap and sit on the corner of the second one.
Yeah.
Just too much weight.
Unlucky.
She could have stopped, there was a wide enough pocket there. She could have stopped a foot short of those rocks, and it's still hard to remove. But as soon as you tap them both, now there's room between them.
Open up the gates. You open up the Bill Gates.
She could actually hit this hair on the broom side and get rid of one of those red stones.
Yeah. She could cross it a bit and make it real tough to freeze as well. Looks like they're crossing it a bit.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of going this way because now she corner freezes that stone. And because of where that stone in the 12-foot is, you can't get at it from the outside anyway. So she's got a little bit more leeway to freeze on this side.
Yeah.
I mean, you still got to make it. You got to make it better than the last one. You can't be bumping rocks around in this situation.
No. The scoreboard dictates that you have to be much more precise right now. Good positive release. Got to do a lot of curling. I go into the center one now, trying to tick off the center one.
I think they're hitting the port with a lot of weight.
Yeah. Well, now you want to go, where's the best spot to go here?
That's a good question because both shot and
center line. Bite the top four on the center line.
She's still playing likely the same freeze because if she makes it, she can come off of her own, make the double that way with the last one. So.
Yeah, I mean, you got to go somewhere.
Yeah, you do. It's just she's always going to have something right now because the shot and second shot are both just behind the tee line. She can corner freeze either one of them and have a shot at making the double off of her own on the last one. So
yeah, I think if you go top, I think if you bite the top four on the center line here, she plays the freeze on she plays the freeze. You could throw a guard on it.
Guard on which?
On the one on her rock.
Good. You're going to leave her a double through the middle, so you can't be full. Yeah, you'd have to be just biting the 4-foot. Then you can't be.
Yeah.
Can't be enough.
You want to be just biting the 4-foot, and then she freezes. You throw a guard, and then she plays a double for one. This looks like it's not curling, so that would lead you.
Oh, but it will.
Yeah. Where are they trying
At the
to
hog line, when you said that was still on the outside of the 4-foot, and look where it ended up.
Yeah. I think they were just thinking, let's not risk this. Okay. I think you come down and try to, I don't know. At this point, I think you try to play a freeze on that because it's hard to get it out. Like if you just
It's hard
But
to
it's-
make a perfect freeze. Do you ever come
It's
down
pretty tough.
with, just barely back 8-foot weight and right on the nose of the one she just threw?
Yeah,
So it
just
chips the
jiggle
one
them around a bit.
chips the one behind it, and it gets wider. And with that rock that's already sitting there in the back of the 8-foot, you might have 3 rocks in a wall behind you, and it
Yeah,
becomes very difficult to get this one out.
I think that's what she's playing. Because that ice is just a couple of inches less than Kate just took. Now Kate's out turn doesn't curl as much, so I think
Even if you're a little less weight than what I just talked about, and just try to chip it so that it's just rub it off that red, so you've got at least a 2 rock wide pocket back.
Yeah. I think she's playing this. I think she is playing this with like a back 8-foot, back 12-foot weight.
You can corner freeze it, and the lineup on the corner freeze might go onto the red at the side. The problem is, if you corner freeze it, I'm not sure how you kill both reds with one stone, and Kate's just going to throw a guard.
It's got.
She's close. She's real close.
It's a good spot. They were indicating it was heavy and it could have used just a little bit more.
Could have used
just
8 inches more weight.
Yeah, if that just goes over like half a rock, it's kind of perfect. But as it happens, it being second shot is actually hurting him. Well, they got that intern guard to run in. Dead nut it for 2.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
Can she see enough to dead nut it coming by her own yellow?
Oh, there's a yellow up there. Have to play the out turn at it. That's right. Yeesh. Raise. I was looking at the overhead. I wasn't even looking at that.
Well, and even if you hit that, like I'm not sure she gets by the one at the top of the 4-foot.
Oh yeah, no,
and can nut on the back one.
I got a second option for you. Off of the one on the top red. Off the top red. Thin. Pencil it.
Yeah, I see that. I'm wondering, with those stones being as close together as they are, can she come off the red stone that's just biting the edge of the 4-foot, come straight into the side of the other one, and then it
throw it a million miles an hour with a bit of a spin.
Same problem though. I don't know if she can see. Yeah. Like, even if she could throw it that hard, I don't know if she can see enough of the red one to hit it as thick as she needs to.
I think if she hits what she can see, she's got a chance. She might be able to make this intern. Can you just make this intern tap now? That's pretty high guard.
How are you getting 2 like that?
Oh yeah, look at that. You're not even far enough to outcount that back one, are you?
No, because I think to get the double on the reds, I think you've got to be a little bit on the outside of the yellow, don't you?
My side, you're gonna roll. You're gonna roll for not be shot. They're looking at all the possibilities. Of all the possibilities, I think you throw it as hard as you can with an intern spinner and come off that back, and try to come into the pocket. That's what she's looking at.
They're looking at it now.
I think that's all you got.
If that stone at the and it's still a hard shot.
Playing the out turn?
It's a harder shot still. Well, the out turn is the easier way to make it, but it's tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's always going to be a tough shot. If that stone's not there at the top of the 12-foot, it's a lot more makeable. But it's.
What if you just pencil that? If they accidentally just pencil it, redirected it, and started going the other way and hit. Could happen.
Oh, there's enough rocks.
Buckle in, folks.
There's enough rocks in play that lots of things could happen here.
So buckle in, folks. We got something coming here. Really fire it.
Needed more weight, I think.
Could have. Then off the top one.
Off the top one. Yellow? Touch her own? No, just goes by it. So it's going to be another steal of 2. Kate Cameron with an 8-0 lead after 5. The gloves come off. That's handshakes. Heather Steele will concede. Triple knockout event, so Kate Cameron moves on, continuing to play in the A event, looking for one of those A event berths into the championship. For Heather Steele, they'll drop down to the B and continue on tomorrow as well.
That was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. Probably for us, maybe
For
for
us.
Kate Cameron, not so much for Heather Steele and her team,
Not-
but tomorrow
Not so
is
much
another
for
day.
Huddersfield. Yeah. Shake it
Well,
off.
Thank you all for joining us here this evening. Stay with us all weekend long. We're going to have a lot of action yet to come. All the games available, some with commentary on the Curling Stadium Beaumont. You can find it on the Curling Zone YouTube channel, as well as the Alberta Curling Series. On behalf of myself, Shawn, Joyce, Matt Hames, thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you tomorrow and all the way through to championship on Sunday.
Thanks, everyone. See ya.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.